It was just another rushed afternoon in a small town outside Columbus, Ohio. The grocery store parking lot was full, carts rattling, engines starting, people glued to their phones. Emily Carter balanced 2 heavy bags in her arms, already exhausted from a long shift at the public library. As she walked toward her car, her eyes drifted to an old, dark SUV parked crookedly near the far edge of the lot. Inside, a man in a firefighter's uniform was slumped in the driver's seat, head resting against the window. He was asleep. At least, that's what it looked like. Emily slowed her steps. Something about the image felt wrong. Firefighters were heroes, always alert, always ready. Seeing one asleep in a parking lot in the middle of the day stirred an unexpected irritation in her chest. Her younger brother had once waited hours for emergency services after a highway accident. The memory still ached. She muttered under her breath, "Must be nice." But as she passed the SUV, she noticed details she couldn't ignore. The uniform wasn't clean. It was wrinkled, stained with soot, and dark shadows sat heavy under the man's eyes. His hands, resting loosely on his lap, were trembling slightly even in sleep. And on the dashboard, pushed carelessly to the side, lay a folded American flag. Emily stopped. Curiosity tugged at her, stronger than her annoyance. She glanced around, unsure why she even cared, then stepped closer to the vehicle. The man couldn't have been more than mid-30s. His jaw was unshaven, his face drawn, like someone who hadn't truly rested in days. A name badge on his chest read, Daniel Reyes. Then she saw it. Tucked into the cup holder was a crumpled photo. A little girl, maybe 6 or 7, missing 2 front teeth, grinning wildly as she sat on a man's shoulders. The same man. Daniel. Emily's chest tightened. She hesitated, then gently tapped on the window. No response. She tapped again, a bit firmer. Daniel stirred, his brow furrowing as if pulled from a deep, heavy place. His eyes snapped open suddenly, wild with panic. He reached instinctively toward his belt, breath hitching, before realizing where he was. Sorry, he said quickly, rolling down the window halfway. His voice was hoarse. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry, Emily said at the same time, embarrassed. I wanted to make sure you were okay. Daniel blinked, then gave a tired half-smile. Yeah, I'm fine. Just catching a few minutes. She nodded, unsure what to say. She should have walked away. Any normal person would have. But something in his eyes, something broken and guarded, kept her rooted in place. Long shift, she asked. He let out a slow breath. You could say that. There was a pause. The parking lot noise seemed distant now. I shouldn't be sleeping here, he added quietly. But I didn't trust myself to drive. That sentence changed everything. Emily shifted the grocery bags to the ground. Do you want some water? She asked. I have an extra bottle. Daniel hesitated, pride flickering across his face, then nodded. That'd be great. Thanks. As he drank, his hands shook again. Emily noticed, and this time she didn't look away. My name's Emily, she said. Daniel. They sat there in silence for a moment, 2 strangers connected by an unplanned pause in a busy day. Then Emily gestured gently toward the photo. Is that your daughter? Daniel's face softened instantly, then collapsed just as fast. He swallowed hard. Yeah, Sophia. There was something final in the way he said her name. Emily felt a chill crawl up her spine. She's adorable. She was, Daniel said. The word hung in the air like a punch. Emily's breath caught. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean. It's okay, he said quickly, waving a hand. People don't know. How could they? He stared straight ahead, eyes unfocused. 3 weeks ago, there was a house fire on Maple Street. Electrical fault. We got the call at 2:17 a.m. I was first on scene. Emily had heard about that fire. Everyone had. A tragedy. A family lost. My wife and Sophia were home, Daniel continued, his voice steady but hollow. I didn't know it was my address. Dispatch doesn't give names, just locations. Emily felt tears sting her eyes already. I ran inside, he said. Like I've done 100 times before. Smoke everywhere. I found my wife unconscious near the stairs. Got her out. Went back for Sophia. His jaw clenched. His hands curled into fists. The roof collapsed before I could reach her room. Emily covered her mouth, a sob escaping despite her effort to stay quiet. They tell you you did everything you could, Daniel went on. They say you're a hero. But heroes don't bury their kids. The parking lot faded away entirely now. There was only this man, this pain. I haven't slept more than an hour at a time since, he admitted. Every time I close my eyes, I'm back in that hallway. I hear her calling me. Emily wiped her cheeks. Then why are you back in uniform? She asked softly. Daniel looked at her, truly looked at her, for the first time. Because the day after the funeral, there was another fire. And another little girl inside. And I couldn't sit at home knowing that. Emily understood then. The sleeping firefighter wasn't lazy. He wasn't careless. He was surviving. Over the next few weeks, Emily couldn't stop thinking about Daniel. Against her usual reserved nature, she found herself stopping by the station with coffee one morning. Then another. The firefighters welcomed her kindly, though she noticed how they watched Daniel closely, like brothers guarding someone fragile. Daniel didn't talk much at first. But slowly, through shared silences and late-night conversations in the station kitchen, he opened up. About Sophia's love for pancakes shaped like animals. About how she insisted on wearing her tiny firefighter helmet everywhere. About how he still set her place at the table some nights before realizing what he was doing. There were setbacks. Nights when Daniel didn't answer texts. Days when Emily found him sitting alone in his car again, staring at nothing. She learned that healing wasn't linear. It wasn't dramatic. It was quiet and messy and exhausting.